We're going to solve a word problem by setting up a system of linear equations to represent the situation, and then solving the system. We're going to write two linear equations, solve the system, and state the answer. So there are 343 7th grade students at Euclid's Middle School. 32 more than 4 times the number of girls is equal to half the number of boys. How many boys are in 7th grade at Euclid's Middle School, and how many girls? So our variables are the boys and the girls, because it wants to know how many of each there are. In the first sentence, it tells us how many total students are in 7th grade, 343. So what I could do here is, for my first equation, I can total the boys and the girls and set it equal to 343. Next, let's look at that second sentence. It says there's 32, more than means to add, and then you have 4 times the number of girls, and then you have is, so there's our is equal to, then you have half the number of boys. So I'm going to set this up like the following, and first just keep in mind more than means to just add. So I'm going to take that 32 more than, so 32 plus, 4 times the number of girls, 4G, and then is equal to, so equals, half the number of boys, half B. There's my system. So my two equations, again, you have B plus G equals 343, and then 32 plus 4G equals 1/2 B. So for this system, again, you could use either elimination or substitution. I'm going to use substitution. So what I'm going to do is first copy that first equation down, and I'm going to revise that second equation. See how you have 1/2 B? Well, if you multiply that equation by 2, you'd have B. So I'm going to multiply that bottom equation by 2. So 32 times 2 is 64. Then 4G times 2 is 8G. And then you have your equal sign. 1/2 B is B. So now I revised my system, and I'm ready to use substitution. Since B is equal to 64 plus 8G, I'm going to plug in 64 plus 8G into B in that top equation. So let's go ahead and do that. Again, I'm going to substitute 64 plus 8G into this equation right here. So all I did was replace that B with 64 plus 8G. So from here, I need to solve that equation for G. You have no parentheses here, so there's no distributive property. If you check for like terms, 8G and G are like terms, so 8G plus G is 9G. Bring the 64 down, so you have 64 plus 9G equals 343. This is just a two-step equation. The opposite of adding 64 is subtracting. So the 64's cancel on the left. 343 minus 64 gives us 279. And then divide both sides by 9. The 9's cancel on the left. And you're left with G. And then do your division. 279 divided by 9 is 31. So there's 31 girls. So from here I have to find the number of boys. So I'm going to pick to use that top equation. B plus G equals 343, and I'm going to substitute 31 in for the G because I know there's 31 girls. So B plus 31 equals 343. This is just a single step equation. The opposite of adding 31 is subtracting it. So subtract 31 from both sides. And you know the 31's cancel on the left. And do your subtraction on the right, and you get 312. So therefore our answer is there are 31 girls and 312 boys.